Welcome to Biztech's CEO Conversation Show. Hi, I'm Brian Fernandez, and our guest today is Jonathon Dixon, Vice President and MD of JAPAC at Verkada. Verkada was founded in 2016 and is a California-based company that develops cloud-based building security and operating systems. The company combines security equipment such as video cameras, access control systems, and environmental sensors, and combines that with cloud-based machine vision and artificial intelligence. Over 26,000 organizations across 85 countries use Verkada solutions. But in the APAC, they've got a long growth runway ahead of them. And that's where Jonathon comes in. Jonathon's going to give us insights into Verkada's business in the APAC region and some key industry trends shaping the business in the region. Now, with that, welcome to the show, Jonathon.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be chatting again in a new capacity. Thank you for the opportunity. I joined you from Melbourne this morning. I'm here for some business reasons, also enjoying the Spring Carnival with Melbourne Cup yesterday and the Derby Day on Saturday, and it will be in Australia until the 15th of November before I come back to Singapore.
Now, Jonathon, for a sec, you've just joined Verkada to lead the APAC business. Give us an idea of Verkada's footprint in the region and where the business is at today.
Sure. So we have offices now in Seoul, in Taipei, in Tokyo, and Sydney, pushing around 100 staff. And we have a strong ecosystem that we're building out as well. And today we have got customers across the retail industry. That's predominantly our highest sort of penetration, education, health, and we're really building a country-first model, not dissimilar to how other US-based vendors have built out a strong Japan and Asia-Pacific presence.
Now, in terms of segmentation, you talked about certain segments in terms of health, and because you're in security, in the markets that you're in right now, where have you actually achieved penetration compared to your competitors?
I would say, for example, as I said, you correctly said, we've got over 26,000 customers, and our customer growth in APAC has grown 72% year over year. I would say some of the areas that we're seeing a lot of traction is, again, in the retail segment in Australia, New Zealand. Any company that has distributed sites, schools as well, especially private schools, so specifically private schools across Australia, Singapore, international schools across Southeast Asia. We're even seeing, stadiums, for example, Shiba Lotto Marines within Japan, which is a baseball stadium which has 30,000 spectators per game. A great example of education is Brighton Grammar within Melbourne, the city I'm in right now, which is one of Australia's leading private schools. There's some examples, Brian, of how we're seeing success over more traditional physical security providers in the market today.
Okay, the key thing is now, and I want to drill down a little bit more, the key thing is the why. How does Verkada's cloud-based platform make building security easier to manage and also to scale? Because you've given us some quite interesting examples. The stadium example is one big example in a physical area.
Yep. Yeah, so look, Brian, I've been, I think, just taking a little bit of a step back. I joined Verkada because I like to join transformative companies and disruptive companies. So, I worked at Cisco for a long time running their telco and cloud business, and we were building out these private clouds for the telco customers that Cisco served. And at the time, there was this little orange company that was coming up from the weeds and making it harder for us to monetize some of these telco offerings or go to cloud offerings. And so if you can't beat them, join them. That's when I joined AWS. And then similarly, while I was at AWS, I saw some transformation around network and security. And that's when I joined Cloudflare, because they were a cloud native security and network providers. So just like how AWS transformed compute and storage, Cloudflare were doing that for security and networking. And then similarly with Verkada, the traditional physical security and building management platforms have been very on-prem. They have been very disparate. And I think we've got a really great way of sort of modernizing that space. And we do it through three key reasons. First of all, centralization, because it is a cloud platform. So it's a singular platform where everything's used under one friendly interface. Again, versus on-premise solutions where you have to navigate different interfaces, rules, and processes. And again, scalability and customization, we see a huge benefit for our customers. So we can streamline installs across thousands of sites, locations with a holistic cloud platform versus a point solution. And as you know, Brian, cloud platforms also easily integrate with other technology partners through API endpoints and more, which make more customization easier to scale customers' evolving security needs. And then finally, constant and powerful updates with the cloud and end users automatic firmware updates. So we ensure physical security systems are consistently protected with the most up-to-date cybersecurity measures, which saves time, saves dollars versus manual updates. And these automatic software updates give organizations the latest tools to combat evolving security threats. So there's some of the things that we're, is resonating with me. Again, I'm 6 weeks into the role, meeting many customers across the region. And these are some pain points and opportunities that we're helping customers modernize, leveraging our platform.
Okay, I want to talk about security because you mentioned that several times. How does Verkada ensure data security, privacy, and compliance for its clients? Because that's so important. Verkada has had some challenges in this area in the past.
Yeah, so just to tackle that, it's well known, Brian, that in 2021 there was a breach. But what I'm proud of how the company responded is we were very transparent. And what we have done since then is, mitigated our position to ensure such a breach, the chances is heavily mitigated. And I think customers respect that. And that sort of transparency is always the best way to be, and learning from that. Data stock we have with capabilities protect customers' data. We have localization capabilities as well. Again, one of the benefits of having cloud is that we can do that within the specific regions that we build our footprint in. And this is a common concern that's becoming more paramount with more regulatory requirements now hitting financial services, hitting government, hitting education, hitting health. So this is something that's been built into our platform, and that customers, just rely on Verkada to protect their data from a day-to-day perspective.
And also it's becoming top of mind, not just for CISOs, but really for board members now globally, particularly now in the APAC region, simply because organized crime is now into ransomware. And it's not the single guy hacking into your software. It's basically teams of people who are organized. So it is important to work with a partner that puts security at the forefront.
Yeah, and so, obviously, we're traditionally modernizing physical security and building management, but we also work very closely with the leading cybersecurity vendors as well. Again, we're API driven, so we can integrate with the Microsofts of the world, other identity providers, other endpoint providers. And you're right, you need to take a holistic point of view. You can't just have, we used to talk around castle and moat architecture, and those days of castle mode architectures just don't work anymore. And so being open, not being proprietary, again, having an ecosystem with partners, and considering the fact the threat landscape is continuing to evolve, and being able to adapt to that threat landscape is very important.
Now, how would you sum up then Verkada's secret sauce? If I'm a CIO or CISO is making a decision, and why should I pick you? What differentiates you from your competitors?
Well, again, we're transforming the industry, Brian. So a lot of companies, a lot of CIOs, a lot of CISOs, a lot of physical security heads, they want to modernize their environment. And cloud is becoming more of the normal. And we take a native hybrid approach. So, we believe that our hardware that you procure is extremely user-friendly. Again, it's run in the cloud. So there's all the benefits that we know from a cloud, from a scale, security, a TCO perspective. And again, we we'd love to build on behalf of our customers. So what I've been really impressed with my first 6 weeks is that I can get my product teams engaged with companies from different industry verticals, and we will work backwards from their problems, and we can build on behalf of that really, really quickly. So I think we're a very innovative company as well, and we're a company that look around corners versus just trying to be disruptive. We're always disrupting.
Then tell us then, because of, and you're 6 weeks into the job,
Yeah.
what are the challenges and opportunities that you are seeing through your lens now in the APAC region? So obviously you joined the company, you liked the solution, you did your research, and we had a conversation privately, and you said, I'm really excited about this opportunity because this business can really scale. Where are the opportunities that you're seeing in the Asia Pacific region? Because your footprint is only in a few markets. You've only
Correct.
You're scratching the surface in some ways. But where are the challenges as well?
So look, as I said, we've built physical offices in the locations mentioned before, and that's where we're proactively going after the market. So we're building pre and post sales teams in each of those markets, marketing, a big partner ecosystem as well. But with any US vendor, when they're coming out to, global expansion, brand recognition is important. So for us at the moment, it's really working with customers, delivering value from them, getting them to talk on our behalf around some of the value that Verkada is providing from a security and business transformation perspective. Obviously, Brian, your people are super important as well. And I've been very optimistic around the talent that we have already within, and hiring and developing that talent, and also attracting very great talent. So, traditionally, Verkada has been more of a mid-market commercial, I suppose, business operation within Japan and Asia Pacific. I think with my pedigree and experience, and some of the people that are now coming into our business, we're very optimistic around how we're going to be resonating with enterprise organizations again across all industries. So I think for the next sort of 12 to 18 months, our mid-market business will continue to be really strong, and the opportunity is to really sort of get some iconic enterprise customers within Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia. They'll help build us enterprise credibility, leveraging, for example, some of the great work we're already doing in markets in the Americas and Europe.
Now, in terms of key trends now, what are some of the biggest trends in security, physical security right now? And of course, I've got to ask you this question because this is a template and you know what it is. How is AI going to play a role in this?
Well, how long's our interviewing been so far, Brian? Has it been 8 or 9 minutes? And that's the first time we've messaged AI. So look, thankfully, AI is infused throughout our offerings. And since the beginning, we've been building our features and tools with advanced computer vision models. But we've made a real splash with generative AI, leveraging state-of-the-art large vision and large language models, and with AI-powered search earlier this year, and building on that even further with AI-powered alerts, which is super, super cool. I was at our big customer conference in Verkada One in Denver in October, and customers were super excited around our AI-powered search. So what that does is it lets users search through video footage using manual language queries like a person in the blue jacket at the main entrance at 3 p.m. or the white Tesla with a red bumper sticker. And this is a game changer for security operations, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What used to take hours manually, Brian, compiling through footage, can now be done in minutes. So that empowers security leaders to quickly locate the exact clips they need. And then with the power alerts, the cool thing there is it's built off AI-powered search. So it allows our users alert based on simple natural language queries. So for example, think around mining and resources in our region, which is, significant. They can, health and safety requirements. So for example, if a person isn't wearing their safety helmet, or they're not wearing their high-vis jacket, the health and safety environment officer can be alerted real time. So that this is sort of like where security leaders are moving from a reactive position to a proactive position. And this can be really impactful across every industry.
And as you're explaining that, my mind, and you can see my eyes dancing around because I'm starting to see how the impact in terms of alerts, response times from responders. So it could be emergency response teams, for example. You just quicken the whole process because everything is automated.
That's right. I mean, we eat our own dog food. So, for example, we have our own store, for example, in our head offices, and some of our creative marketing people were finding the Where's Wally AI search capability, where Wally would walk into the Verkada head office shop and cheekily take away some swag, for example, and the team was showing how AI search could quickly find out where that Wally person was. And again, some of the benefits there is just crazy. And today I'm in Melbourne meeting some big retailers, big fast and beverage food chain providers. And this capability is the key reason why we're meeting some very senior levels around how that could be implemented to, as I said, streamline their operations, reduce theft, or if there is theft, get to a quicker resolution.
Jonathon, it's been a fascinating conversation. I've actually learned a lot about this industry, which I knew very little about previously. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
Well, listen, Brian, thank you so much for your time today. Listen, I just wanted to reinforce that we're absolutely committed to the region. We see huge opportunity leveraging our modernized approach to physical security. And as I said, if you think around education, you think around health, think around natural resources, which is obviously significant. Data centers is another big use case that I've been really, really enthused about since starting. We're very, very aggressive with our approach, and we think we'll be able to help customers realize significant security improvements, significant scale, and significant simplification across their operations. So a big thanks for your time today, Brian.
Thanks a lot, Jonathon, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much, Brian. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, I'm Brian Fernandez, and this has been Biztech's CEO Conversation Show. We've been speaking to Jonathon Dixon, Vice President MD, Japan and APAC at Verkada. This video will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
Thanks, Brian.